My father's 60th birthday should have been a jubilant celebration. Instead, it erupted into a scream. Not my daughter's, my sister's. Stop pretending to be crippled. You just want attention. And then she yanked my 6-year-old's leg brace off like it was nothing. Metal clanged against tile. My daughter fell right after. Her cry wasn't loud, it was small, terrified, the sound of a wounded animal realizing no one is coming. My family just watched. My mother sipped wine. My brother smirked. My aunt actually laughed. Quick, cruel, delighted. I moved toward my daughter, but she tried to crawl to me first, dragging that fragile leg, tears streaking her face. Daddy, help. I reached her as my sister crossed her arms, triumphant. For God's sake, she's faking. You're all letting her run this house with her little act. Then a shadow fell over us. A firm, cold hand landed on my sister's shoulder. Dr. Caldwell, her surgeon, had arrived early to discuss her upcoming follow-up. He had seen everything. He said quietly, you just assaulted a child with a severe orthopedic condition. My sister went pale. My family went silent, not from guilt, but from fear of being exposed. And something inside me, some long-dormant, patient part, finally stirred. My sister had always disliked my daughter, not openly, not enough for anyone to call it cruelty, but enough to poison every moment. She exaggerated, limped more when watched, whispered behind backs, turned doubts into accusations, accusations into family jokes. The past few months had been worse, sharper. My daughter stopped wanting to visit my parents, stopped attending family dinners, avoided my sister. When I asked why, she'd shrug, whisper, she's mean, and move on. Children hide truths, especially to protect those they love. I had brushed it off as sibling jealousy, the kind adults pretend doesn't exist. But tonight, when my sister tore off my daughter's brace, I saw it in her eyes. Rage. Not accidental. Not brief. Something old, something nurtured. My father's expression didn't help. Irritated not by the assault, but by the inconvenience. Didn't need drama tonight, he muttered. Suddenly, all the small pieces I'd ignored fell into place. My sister insisting my daughter exaggerated, cornering her when no one watched, my daughter avoiding her at every event. I had been blind, but Dr. Caldwell wasn't. He knelt beside my daughter, checking her leg gently while the room held its breath. This wasn't an accident, he said. I looked at my sister. She met my gaze, trembling, testing my limits. She still didn't understand. I wasn't angry. I was calculating. Dr. Caldwell confirmed the injury had worsened. Her knee is unstable. She could have torn the graft. My sister's face drained of color. She tried to protest, but I raised a hand not to silence her, but to pause her, because I needed answers, not noise. Why did you do it? I asked. Her lips tightened. Because she lies, weak. Scripted. Rehearsed. So I pressed further. In the days that followed, while my daughter rested at home, I investigated not for revenge, but for truth. Phone records, family texts, old group chats, screenshots my cousin once sent me as a joke. Patterns emerged. Threads aligned. My sister had spent months telling the family my daughter was milking her condition, that I raised her to be fragile, that surgery was probably unnecessary. She wasn't quietly doubting, she was orchestrating. I went further. I checked daycare security footage before the surgery. There she was, my sister, forcing my daughter to run without the brace. My daughter limped, cried, begged to stop. My sister dragged her forward anyway. Doctor's notes. School reports. Teacher emails noting my sister once instructed staff not to indulge my daughter's theatrics. The truth crystallized. My sister didn't think my daughter was faking. She needed her to be faking. If my daughter wasn't lying, then my sister was. And she couldn't bear a world where she wasn't the center of attention. The evidence sharpened something inside me, not for violence, but for precision. I knew exactly where to strike. I didn't confront her immediately. I waited. Until the next family gathering at my parents' house, the same place they had laughed as my daughter cried. I entered with a thick, organized folder, weaponized with truth. My sister tried a smile, twitchy, cracked. My father looked annoyed. My mother curious. My brother bored. I placed the folder on the table. Before we eat, I said calmly, you all need to see this. I laid out daycare footage, messages, call logs, teacher emails, medical notes, the truth she thought buried beneath family loyalty. My sister's face twisted in horror. This is fake, she whispered. It's dated, I replied. Stamped, recorded, archived. She shook her head, searching for escape. My father snapped. Why are you doing this? It's over. No, I said softly. It's documented. I placed the final page down, Dr. Caldwell's signed statement describing the injury, the damage, and the fact her actions could have caused permanent disability, a mandatory legal report. My sister sank into a chair, shaking. You're not really going to, she whispered. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. She lunged, grabbing my arm. Please. We're family. I looked at her hand, then at her, and gently removed it. You made yourself a stranger the moment you hurt my child. Her eyes flooded, not with remorse, but terror. Dad, she cried, turning to him. Stop him. My father stepped forward, puffing up with tired authority. This is unnecessary. We don't embarrass family in public. I met his eyes. This isn't embarrassment. This is accountability. He froze. Accountability, the one thing he had always feared, never practiced, never taught. I picked up the folder, closed it, and handed it to the man by the doorway, Dr. Caldwell. His presence sucked the air out of the room. My sister collapsed, shaking violently. No, please. Don't. He nodded to me, professional, neutral, unmoved. Mr. Hale, I'll file everything this afternoon. My sister screamed, sharp, small, the sound of someone finally realizing consequences exist for them too. I didn't look back. My daughter's small hand slipped into mine as we reached the door, warm, trusting, safe. For the first time in years, I felt something close to peace. Cold. Clean. Absolute. The next day, I took my daughter to the park. She walked slowly, brace secured, gripping my hand when the ground dipped. She didn't mention her aunt, the party, or the fall. Children heal differently, quietly, honestly. I watched her chase a butterfly, careful, deliberate, a rhythm I knew better than my own heartbeat. She laughed, not loud, but real. That night, as she slept, I stood in her doorway, letting the silence wash over me. This is what family should feel like: calm, safe, steady. Not the toxic loyalty I grew up with, not laughter disguised as cruelty, not blood ties that suffocate. My sister would face consequences, real, legal ones. My family would confront a harder truth, themselves. I closed my daughter's door and walked the hallway, a final thought settling in. I didn't lose a family. I uncovered what they truly were. I chose my daughter instead. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more incredible stories.